Grade 11. Book English. Unit 8. Wasteland. By author Marya Mannes, 1904 to 1990. Part number 1. Wasteland. Reading with Urdu translation. By author Marya Mannes, 1904 to 1990. Please like and subscribe. Press bell icon for future video alerts. About the author. This short essay is by the late author Marya Mannes. Mannes lived most of her life in New York City, where she was born. Her brother was musician Leopold Mannes. Her parents, Clara Damrosch Mannes and David Mannes, founded the Mannes College of Music in New York. Her maternal grandfather was conductor Leopold Damrosch, and her maternal uncles were conductors Walter Damrosch and Frank Damrosch. Her father was Jewish. Her mother was from a mostly Lutheran German family. Mannes was an editor at Vogue and later wrote prolifically for the magazines, The Reporter and The New Yorker. Mannes published a number of books of essays, sharply and wittily critical of American society, including More in Anger, Some Opinions, Uncensored and Unteleprompted. She was a much sought-after social commentator on radio and television. She hosted her own 13-week television show on New York's WNEW-TV in 1959, that is, I Speak for Myself. Other books by Mannes included Subverse, 1959, a satirical verse, Out of My Time, 1971, an autobiography, and two novels, Message from a Stranger, 1948, and They, 1968. Married 3 times, Mannes had one child who survived her. She died in San Francisco, California. Cans, carafe, polybags, glinting on the verges of 1,000,000 miles of roadways, lying in scrub, grass, dirt, leaves, sand, mud. But never hidden, shining in the sun or picked by moon or the beams of headlights at night. Washed by rain or flattened by wheels, but never dulled, never buried, never destroyed. Here is the mark of savages, the testament of wasters, the stain of prosperity. Who are these men, who defile the grassy borders of our roads and lanes, who pollute our ponds, who spoil the purity of our ocean, beaches, with the empty vessels of their thirst? Who are the men who make these vessels in millions and then say, drink, and discard? What society is this that can afford to cast away 1,000,000 tons of metal, and to make of wild and fruitful land a garbage heap? What manner of men and women need 30 feet of steel and 200 horsepower to take them singly to their small destinations? Who demands that what they eat is wrapped, so that forests are cut down to make the paper that is thrown away, and what they smoke and chew is sealed, so that the sealers can be tossed in gutters and caught in twigs and grass? What kind of men can afford to make the streets of their towns and cities hideous with neon at night, and their roadways hideous with signs by day, wasting beauty. Who leave the carcasses of cars to rot in heaps, who spill their trash into ravines, and make smoking mountains of refuse for the town's rats. What manner men choke off the life in rivers, streams and lakes, with the waste of their produce, making poison of water. Who is as rich as that? Slowly, the wasters and despoilers are impoverishing our land, our nature, and our beauty, so that there will not be one beach, one hill, one land, one meadow, one forest free from the debris of man, and the stigma of his improvidence. Who is so rich that he can squander improvidence, wealth of earth and water, for the trivial needs of vanity, or the compulsive demands of greed, or so prosperous in land, that he can sacrifice of nature, for unnatural desires? The earth we abuse, and the living things we kill will, in the end, take their revenge. For in exploiting their presence, we are diminishing our future. And what will we leave behind us when we are long dead? Temples, amphora, sunken treasure, or mountains of twisted, rusted steel, canyons of plastic containers, and a million miles of shores garlanded, not with the lovely wrack of the sea, but with the cans and bottles and light bulbs and boxes of people who conserved their convenience at the expense of their heritage, and whose ephemeral prosperity was built on waste.